They have been sponsored recently by Identity Crisis.
They're trying to find the third.
They need to find the third.
To complete the triad.
They must complete the team. So right now it seems like they're going to be running with Shadow, who we've never seen personally here on BattleRekt.
I feel like we have seen so much Eva. That's probably Nine's fault, but
a lot of Eva going on.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see more Eva. There it is.
Fluting around. A lot of Eva.
There it is.
So we're just going to get rid of this, actually. It's an exciting day.
That's not 2 girls, 1 croak. That's a girl, a goat, and a croak.
2 goats, 1 croak? No.
No.
A girl, a goat, and a croak. That's it. We're just going to do that. That's the thing.
All right. Womack X Hashi. Raids.
Ooh, Cephalus. That's a good one.
Cephalus?
Yeah, that's a good combo of that. Cephalus.
The Cephalus.
Or Shiryu.
Shiryu.
We're going to see Shadow going in really early on. Freya's just going to try and hunt him down as best as she can, but now with no spacebar, Radius has to be careful. Good counter, though, pulling in the flesh. Is in the flesh, one of the best Jades in North America. But with the change, we'll see how he does. He was an immaterial candy popper.
That is true. There he is. He popped the stealth with the shield, but he's still being attacked. And normally he would snipe, but he... Oh, here comes the Eldora ultimate. He gets a stun, gets left click, doesn't have the reload on the disabling shot quite yet. Taser will provide the shield to his teammate.
He does get Womack with the Eva. Oh, and the flesh is getting caught in the corner. He wants the spacebar. Placement, but it's getting hunted down by Radies. What a good read by him.
He's getting the candy. He's running away. Freya's trying to chase in aggressively. The spacebar is going to be used by Freya to chase here. It's all up to Shadow to peel. He's gone! He ran! He tried to go aggressive onto Womack.
They want to try and get... Oh, if they can get the cross kill, it's actually going to look good for them. Shadow, go for the cross kill. Go get him before he gets healed.
Fareed! There it is. He tries to go for the shift left click, but right
now... he's going to get... Oh, no, this is actually not good for them. That was the moment. They need to get that cross kill, make it a 2v2. But now Womack's been healed back up to 40 health.
Everybody gets CC'd simultaneously. BouBou actually played this round really well. Playing really aggressive onto Jade, and I think that's absolutely what you need to do right now. One of the key ways for Jade to trade cooldowns is at the end. The EX immaterial is really what puts Jade over in terms of those trading scenarios. And especially now, because it doesn't actually cause you to go immaterial, you still get hit by things like roots, you still get hit by things like snares, you still get body blocked.
Generally,
still get pushed around.
When you are going against a melee champ, it's actually easier for them to track you, because they can keep wailing in the direction that you went invis.
They can see the little numbers popping up.
But with, I feel like if you're going against somebody ranged and you do it, you can just start strafing and they don't exactly know where you went. But some of this melee can kind of pin you because they can just keep M1ing.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
So, in the flesh is able to get continuously hunted by Radius even when he would use his Veil. But remember, it does give a shield now to allies, so it still has a defensive feature.
Oh, in the flesh with the snipe and the disabling shot. Going to be a little bit weaker in terms of cooldowns available.
What just happened?
Concussive blast. Oh, Croak is dead.
Croak is dead, and they lose that orb.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be quite tough. Oh, but Vareem actually really putting on some good damage with the Sands of Time onto Radies.
Oh, tries to flick it over to Nye. Oh, gets stunned up by the taser in the middle of the Sirius ultimate. There it is. You still get weakened. That's another thing. When you immaterialed it, used to not only did it dispel the weaken if it was on before, but in the immaterial, that weaken would have whiffed.
Uh-oh. Hashi is disconnected and Hashi is reconnected.
Hashi.
Hashi.
Red player slain. Uldor.
I don't even know if I ever pay attention to colors while I'm playing.
You just kill anything that's in front of you. I think BattleRekt would be really interesting if they had team fire.
Did what? Oh, friendly fire?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That would be gnarly.
Yeah.
AoE champs would be so difficult.
Yeah. You would literally be able to recreate Dragon Ball Z with a snipe. Or
Piccolo, no! Oh, we're going to see Shadow actually go in there and get a decent stun on Freya, but she's going to shield off most of that damage. And the Flesh is trying to stay out of that Petrify. Hashi's just going to retreat, get a little bit of heals. Who's going to get this first orb? And it will go to In the Flesh with the snipe. Oh, Radius is going to take a lot of damage right here. Take a look at that. Vareem standing his ground middle, keeping that orb control where they get a chance. But In the Flesh has to be careful. He has a full stick of butter. He uses the well, it's not a material anymore. Uses the Veil and in cap on one. Oh, followed by Petrify.
Oh, nice snipe.
Removed from the game for so long. Vareem's got to be careful.
There. Landed the snipe and was able also for Shadow to jump behind Hashi and cause him to cancel his ultimate because the turn speed isn't actually fast enough. So 2 big wins for Identity Crisis here. Oh! Hashi trying to play aggressively. Needs to chase down In the Flesh just a little bit more. Maybe a Rotten Banana can finish it out. Here he goes, using the Prismatic Strike. Just one more. No, he gets stunned up. And In the Flesh barely gets out alive. Finally, the third orb will go to Identity Crisis. And down goes Womack. First round up for Identity Crisis. Maybe the beginning of a comeback. But they'll need to reverse sweep in order for that to happen.
Now, it's really interesting seeing what's changed since that Veil is not nearly as strong as it used to be. Now, In the Flesh did stick with Jade, which you gotta respect. He loves the champ, he's good with it. So he's gonna stick with the champ, but it definitely is a little more difficult for him to deal with these, you know, kind of like melee in-your-face champs, Sirius and Freya. You know, they get up in there and he doesn't have that kind of free, all right, I've got about 1.5 seconds to breathe, you know? That 2 second or however long the immaterial was. He doesn't really have that time. He's got to spread himself. He's got to be a little more meticulous as to where he places himself. But a fantastic snipe on Freya now. She gets a lot of damage dealt to her, but they're going to seize this opportunity to try and go in the Flesh. Take a look at that. Sirius, with the fully charged M1 and an R, In the Flesh is now down to about a half health. He's got to be careful. He's going to put himself in a good place, and they're actually going to give position up of that first orb and concede the first orb to BouBou.
Positioning wasn't quite right in that scenario. In the Flesh got punished off the blast fall. Hashi was just waiting for the blast fall to be spent, and they used Celestial Split. There it is again. Oh, the Prismatic Strike. In the Flesh stepped right into it. Tough situation, tough break. Here comes Shadow trying to chase down a kill on Womack. Meanwhile, Vareem is kiting it. This is the strategy here. They just need a kite. They get center orb. Shadow needs to do something. Maybe spin. Something needs to happen here, but I think they've lost their opportunity for a kill. Maybe some cross CC. Let's see. It's Slick and tough for Identity Crisis. Oh, misses the shift M1, and that could have made the difference there. Still fighting hard. There's still resources available. Oh, the orb gets stolen away by Shadow with a beautifully timed jump. Gets the incapacitate. It could be the stun. They make the cross kill. They make the cross kill happen.
This is actually really good for them.
Jump. Thunderstrike coming.
They have double the health pool. They have to be careful about how they go about this. Don't go too crazy. But almost everyone has an ultimate. A great stun followed by a shift M1.
Oh, Sirius is going to get popped here. He's losing a ton of health.
He can't out-heal that, but a great shield from Freya with the counter. She's going to go down on Vareem with an ultimate, but a fantastically timed Petrify. Oh, the stun actually, and he won't bite on the counter. At the time, it's going to finish him off.
There it is. Now it's just a one-on-one. This is a tough,
Don't throw it, Shadow.
matchup.
This is a really tough matchup for both, to be honest. It's not going to be fun for either.
Radies is health down and doesn't have quite as many resources. Shadow's definitely geared up much better for this fight. I think this orb is going to be important. Remember, when it's just the last people on your team, the orb gets double the benefit.
Oh, proc the counter. She doesn't have much safety, and he knows she doesn't.
He landed it. There it is. Shadow comes in clutch.
He almost got the orb from the Venom explosion.
That was incredibly clutch on the side of Vareem and Shadow. But you have to think about how tough it is for, in that particular scenario, to keep yourself alive, especially when you're getting juked. Shadow spent the seat, caused Hashi to use his own counter, and then went on the off target. And that really was the mix-up that hurt them the most. They lost a lot of cooldowns for nothing in that scenario, and it was all just down to mind games. Maybe it would have benefited BouBou to be a little more aggressive in that scenario.
So we talk a lot about that, the serious combo. His R fully charged M1. That is a 40 damage combo if he doesn't build into more. With no battle rights, he can take out effective all of your kind of buffer between your max and your current health. Anything after that will start chunking your max. So it's quite a strong combo. And he's actually going to use it to help him get that first orb. BouBou does get orb number 1. Now we're going to see if Shadow can retreat before he takes that rocket damage, and he will. Reposture up. Both teams kind of refreshing their cooldowns. Uh-oh. Nice. Freya did go in, but she got punished immediately. A stun followed by a root. Radiance just stands there and takes the damage. There comes the ultimate. She tries to counter actually through it, but she doesn't. She ends up getting zapped.
In the Flesh made some very good decisions on where to spend all 4 of his bullets in terms of the ultimate. Knew where Hashi was going to go and punish them, despite the fact that Radiance was able to counter off, or rather, sorry, Hashi was able to counter out a bit of damage. There it is, the second ultimate from In the Flesh will actually clear out.
And she flicked around to Sirius as well.
Camouflage stun, and I think somehow Identity Crisis have clawed their way back in.
Wow.
Off the clutch.
Wow.
Reverse sweep, taking the first map, which I felt like all map long it was just a struggle for Identity Crisis until the last round. They landed a camouflage stun into a beautifully timed disabling shot, got a ton of left clicks on the target, and then built up ult really quickly for Jade. Chunked out a lot of health that Hashi had, and then the second ultimate that came around was able to close out the kill. And that's really a scenario where you need to be refocusing your Jade play, making sure that you're using stealth preemptively, which is what In the Flesh was doing. He wasn't waiting for immaterial. He was using the stealth prematurely, and in doing so, he was able to kind of make his position ambiguous and land snipes or bait out counters in that sense. And I think that was really important for them because it opened up the path, the opportunity for Shadow to then go aggressive because he didn't have to worry about those cooldowns.
Take a look at a quick replay. That 1v1 at the very end.
Oh, such a close scenario. Just waiting for Rydas to use all the cooldowns. There's a counter. He already used a jump. There's the last invul frame used, and knows that if he hits this Venom Wind, it's over. Tries to use the R shield, but not enough. Freya pops. When the Venom Wind pops, so does Freya.
So did Freya.
So did Freya.
Get vocabularyed.
Get grammared.
Get grammared. Somehow, Identity Crisis were able to figure out what it took and turn that around. Was that a reverse sweep also? I think it was. Yeah. They almost got stomped out.
They nearly lost in that second to last round.
He nearly did. Yeah. That actually was clutch to keep the pressure on and kind of keep your cool when you know you might go down. Especially that last 1v1 between Croak and Freya. It's not a fun matchup for either of them, to be honest. I don't even know which side I'd rather be on. I mean, I suck with both of them, which is probably why. I suck ass with Croak and Freya. I'm so bad.
I can't. I just can't play the game. I'm just bad.
I've never played BattleRekt before.
I've never done it. I walked into the studio and they were like, hey.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you would know a little better than I do. You got an eye for this. But the difference between the first 2 rounds and the next 3, right? In the Flesh had a really hard time in the first 2 rounds.
Yes.
They really pounded him down, and he had to keep using his spacebar to retreat, and then just keep following it up, and he had to keep using his immaterial when it was a little too late, or I guess his veil.
Yeah.
When it's a little bit too late.
Yes.
But it seemed like he was being a little more preemptive with his positioning, so that they couldn't close that gap.
Yeah, the big thing about using veil in the old scenario is there are a lot of situations where you actually do want to get hit in certain senses, right? If you get chunked by Sirius's charged weapon strike and then you veil, you can dispel that, and you can also tank that move for your teammate, right? And so you actually peel off a lot of pressure in some senses. Of course, if you can avoid the damage completely, that's going to be the ideal solution. But it actually wasn't the worst in the world to be in a dangerous situation and then pop your veil in that dangerous situation and feel okay standing there and then putting out damage, because it changes the dynamic of how things get traded out, right? But in this case, I think originally when they first came into the matchup, In the Flesh was playing very aggressively. He was playing in the face of his opponents. He was using cooldowns to reposition himself for slight benefits rather than trading the cooldown, waiting for people to gap close and then spending his last ult.
Yeah.
And he was getting punished for it. And in the second round that BouBou won, there was a very notable situation where In the Flesh was pressuring. He used a jump to get to the top of the map just to reposition himself, just to be more comfortable in terms of where he was in the back line. And then Hashi had been sitting there. He actually hadn't initiated at all. He was waiting. He waited for that moment for when In the Flesh spent that cooldown, and then just followed him with Celestial Split, and In the Flesh lost 80% of his health. Yeah,
I think it's going to take a while for him to break the habits of knowing that you have that material on the veil. He was able to actually go in and be like a hyper-aggressive Jade. He could stand in the middle of a fight, and as soon as they turned to target him, and you saw a bunch of damage coming away, a lot of cooldowns getting on you, whoosh, immaterial, right? So a lot of cooldowns got wasted on you. They just went straight through you like it didn't exist. And on top of it, like, you're able to position yourself hyper aggressively. But now that he doesn't have that in material, and they're able to follow him a bit when he goes in Viz, and the shield just kind of gets shredded, he's got to be a bit more careful with his positioning. I feel like it's going to be a habit that he's going to have to deal with, because he's been playing like that for so long, but he seemed to turn it around there just when they needed to. And they took the first map. Now, looking to bring it to the semifinals, Identity Crisis, reverse sweeping, map number 1. Wolverine with a Chronoflux, we haven't seen many of those. Last map, oh, just missing the snipe, and he actually will give up the first orb to BouBou as well.
That's going to be a bad loss there. Should have gotten the orb at the very least. Quicksand with the disabling shot.
Oh my!
Very nicely done.
That snare followed up by the snipe. Just to make it a bit easier for him. Vareem taking a good bit of damage, but he's dealing it right back to Womack. See Freya closing that gap. They got to be careful. They lose to orb number 2 as well. The counter's down on Freya, though. They have an opportunity. Her E is down as well.
Oh,
all
big
she has
damage
is the space.
And a disabling shot.
Oh! The Sands of Time might finish her off. She has to zap just to get rid of it.
Oh, trying to weaken up and incapacitate. Croak is going aggressive. We've seen this turn badly for multiple Croak players. See, the ultimate comes out, but just behind the wall, the spit will actually finish it out.
Oh, that's to make sure they don't let a cross kill happen on Old Door. Oh, fantastic snipe to try and relieve the pressure a little bit. He's going to heal himself up a bit. He can ult himself, so he has a little bit of room to play, and he might actually have to right now.
The coordination.
Hashi's coming in. Will we see him ult himself? He's going to time bender instead. The confidence in him to stay down on the ground.
I really like the execution on the side of Identity Crisis in this particular game. The coordination between disabling shot and then following up with quicksand or any kind of CC, they were just very intentional about how they cooperated. In a situation where Shadow was able to land incapacitate, he waited for the quicksand to land and then hit the stun. In the flesh, waited for that camouflage stun to land and then hit the disabling shot afterwards. That's what really chunked Womack down. In the multiple scenarios where it was disabling shot and then just not hitting into counters, just using the quicksand, knowing that that's a safe option, letting the quicksand land and being that the thing that does damage. Making sure that you're taking care of all these small details.
I love this new mount. It's so cool.
It is. Indeed, mighty, furious, and quite large.
The counter will get used up by Freya on a Croak stun, so it does give them a little bit of poke room. Can go on readies. Oh, he actually turned to Womack knowing he's going to get iframe. Fantastic flick. Womack's going to take a good bit of damage, but he's going to dish it right back to Shadow, who's got to be careful. They actually do get the first orb that time. Identity Crisis looking a bit more mid-control this time.
In the flesh, he's going to have ultimate here. He's going to hit into the counter, but he gets it instead. He knows that there's a few cooldowns.
Oh, that's it. Freya's got nothing left. Oh, but the in-cap saved her.
Snipe coming out again.
That was an interesting location on the snipe. I don't know what that was about.
He saw a ghost.
I think so. He got a little freaked out up there.
From the snipe, if he hits this, it could be big, but gets countered up, and that's going to put Vareem in danger. Vareem has to get away here. Here comes the ultimate, but gets CC'd up and immediately tried by Hashi.
He got countered through the ultimate, and the flesh got pulled in to the serious ult. Now he's got to be careful. Oh, and they might actually be able to burst him down. Hashi just getting out of there. Shadow's trying to follow through. He's going to sacrifice his life. Can they at least get the cross kill in the meantime? I don't know if they're going to be able to. Oh, baiting out the counter. Fantastically played. He's going to snipe through the orb as well. He's got an ultimate.
That's actually really good for them. Getting that orb was absolutely what they needed to secure a little bit more control. Oh, baits it out.
Hashi baited out the spacebar. Fantastically played. Knowing that he was going to try and get the fully charged M1 on him in the flesh. Tried to spacebar out just in time. But Hashi, he's like, I ain't falling for that. I know you're going to jump. He just turned instead. Just clocked him in the back of the neck.
Gave him the old shimmy.
The old shimmy shrew.
Jumped in and just said, you know what, I'm a step back 2 steps. Your jump is not going to stun me, and I'm going to be so much closer to where you're going to jump to. And he just smacked him in the face once he landed.
Well played by Hashi. Keeping us cool in the end of the match. 1 round to 1 round. Will BouBou stay alive, or can Identity Crisis move on to the semifinals? Take on map number 2. And the flesh is going to take a little bit of damage early on, but Hashi just, oh, he just pocked his counter, so he knows it's going to be an easy hit. He's got no spacebar either. He's actually a good target, but his Petrify will save him from Croak. And the flesh actually gets pushed right over to Eva, almost called a Nye. An in-cap on his ally. Oh, and he's going to snag the orb and get a good stun on Freya as well. Her counter will get wasted. I think she was trying to spam it, hoping she'd get it there in time. And the flesh is going to get removed from the fight just a good bit. It's okay, though. Vareem is going to just smack his way through Womack.
Uses the veil, but still gets incapacitated. It doesn't provide the immaterial, so you can still get CC'd in there. Gets incapacitated.
Sirius has nothing left. His counter is down. So is his spacebar. He's left himself in a tight spot. The orb is going to save him a little bit longer. He has an ultimate, but it's going to go down. What a fantastic snapshot from In the Flesh.
Nice choice to use the EX on the right click there. Snapshot provided a little bit of damage at the root to allow Shadow to close out the kill. And despite the pressure that was coming down onto In the Flesh and Vroom.
Oh God.
Kill.
What? Getting mulched.
Still a dangerous situation.
A great poke to Radies. They're going to get the orb, but the Venom's going to go. Wait, which Venom was it? Was that the ult?
Yeah, that was the ult.
How did it pop so soon?
He died before. He died by the left.
Oh, gotcha.
Then when you die, you pop.
Well, Womack's not going to be able to. Oh, he's going to try and rat-a-tat of this. Gets the other side of the pull. Only protects you from the front for those of you that are unfamiliar with Eva. And it looks like the Sands of Time will take her down. One round away from Identity Crisis, moving to the semis with their new third, Shadow, who seems to be proving his worth so far with this team comp.
What an appropriate name for a Croak player.
Shadow. It's like ironically appropriate, you know? It's like calling yourself, it's like naming your account Random Assassin and then playing Croak. You are the Random Assassin. Or like Frogman.
Frogman.
Frogman. There's Frogman, there's Llama Boy. Oh, Frogman and Llama Boy. I'd watch the hell out of that show. What a good detective show.
Llama Boy?
Frogman and Llama Boy.
It sounds like a show that would make me uncomfortable.
Everything makes you uncomfortable.
This is true. Just a very uncomfortable human being.
Womack. Oh man, In the Flesh is going to take a lot of poke damage right off the bat. They're just going to go right in.
Ham.
But they did a lot of cooldowns knowing the Shadow space still. I'm surprised they do all that.
Oh, takes a snipe to the face. There goes the weakened debuff, but too little too late. You're already out of there.
She's keeping her space so well, and now the counter's going to be down for Frey. They might get the orb, but it's going to counter through to Sirius as well. This might be it. Take a look at this. 60% health to 70. They're losing it. Second after second, we're going to see another snipe from In the Flesh, flicking it over to Eva. She has her ultimate.
In the Flesh is just doing damage to whoever he wants, whenever he wants. The disabling shot tried to silence up Hashi in that scenario, but he was patient. In the Flesh spent an early jump here, but gonna use her snipe to take the orb.
Oh my!
In the kill
what? In the Flesh already. Look at this. 527 damage already from In the Flesh, destroying anyone else in the entire game. That's gonna be it.
You tried to play.
They're moving on to the semis.
And In the Flesh held patiently with the help of Shadow and Vareem. The kiting was fantastic. The target choice on the sniper fantastic. I don't think In the Flesh missed a single snipe in that round.
No, not at all. And I honestly think, he's proven his worth, man. In the Flesh, easily, probably one of the best Jays in North America. It's nuts to watch him play. The fact that he was able to, in the first two rounds, get completely shut down and then figure out, turn on the click and be like, wait a second, I know I have to use my cooldowns now. I got to use them a little bit sooner. I want to keep my space so they can't just initiate on me, so I don't have to escape.
Yes.
He's also got a lot of help from Vareem. Vareem was always nearby to try and protect him with his good old lantern smacks. Get the roof.